So I'm Jeremy Dewar, and this is Dan Porter. So reading about Elixir in our free time filled us with some big ideas about how software should be more naturally distributed and fault-tolerant and yet still simple. So February 2018, we started at HE3 Labs, which is a blockchain consulting and development company. And as the first developers hired, we decided that if we were going to be working with a technology that was known for being distributed and fault-tolerant, such as blockchain, we should be building our software such that we can make the same claims. So naturally, we chose Elixir. HE3 works closely with the NEM Foundation and their blockchain, and NEM was going to have a number of booths at Consensus in May, an annual blockchain technology summit. So 5 weeks before the conference, NEM made their SDK for their new 2.0 blockchain, Catapult, available. So HE3 decided it would attend the conference, and as a blockchain solution company, we should have something good to show, like a live demo using the latest Catapult tech, showcasing some realistic business use cases. So the demo plan was to build a real-time dashboard to show live updates on a booth LCD TV, build a iOS client app so attendees could conduct the blockchain interactions themselves. We had another developer for this. Build a backend to talk with the NEM blockchain, and build an API for the iOS client. So before we could do that, we had to learn Elixir, learn Phoenix and Ecto, reproduce the JavaScript SDK that they dropped, functionality in Elixir, including cryptographic signing of binary transaction data. And for the dashboard, we wanted live updates, so we also decided to learn and use Elm. So you take two developers, a little dabbling with Elixir, some big ideas, introduce them to a new blockchain, give them a JavaScript SDK, and about 1 month to make a live demo in Elixir. So this was the recipe for going insane. We got very little sleep, but it was for Elixir. It was worth it. And so Dan's going to show you a sample of the live demo.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. I'm going to need to change the display preferences. 1 second here. Can you do 1080? Get away with that. Yes. How does that look? That looks pretty good. Okay. So this is just going to be a quick sample of one of the scenarios we demoed of transactions that you might see at a bank. And so here we have Alice, Bob, and their son Junior. Each have their own personal account. And Alice and Bob have a shared account that they both can control. And they've also set up a trust for their son Junior. And you'll notice that the trust looks a little bit different because it has this 2:3 in the corner. And it means that it requires 2 of the 3 parties who are owners of the trust to sign for any kind of transaction that might come from that account. We also have a few little basic transactions already pre-filled here on the right, so you can see that Junior got some allowance and he borrowed some money from Mom and repaid her. So let's imagine that we've got a more difficult sort of situation, something that would be complex and or slow in a traditional way, turns out to be rather quick and efficient with the blockchain. So let's imagine Junior is turning 18 years old, and Alice and Bob are ready to give him access to his trust funds. But maybe they still want him to have a little bit of oversight. And so they want the bank to stay involved. And if Junior wants to spend funds, they just want a basic check and balance. It says, hey, let's make sure the bank is cool with him doing things. And in a single transaction, we can change the ownership of this trust, removing Bob and Alice, and adding Junior. So I'm going to go ahead and send the transaction. Normally we have an iOS client for this, but since that's not really practical today, I'm just going to send the request directly. So hopefully this goes well. There you go. You can see the transactions being prepared. And in a moment, we should see the status move forward. And it looks like perhaps the live demo gods are frowning upon me right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that transaction is sitting there waiting for additional signatures because the trust requires 2 of the parties to sign. And I'm about out of time. Quickly sign for it, and hopefully we can see that complete before I walk off. Anyhow, Elixir enabled us to manipulate binary strings and do all sorts of neat things, and happy day. Thanks for listening. Cheers.